What's going
Hey,
on? We up.
yo.
We up. Episode 5, I believe. We live after a great turnout.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Couldn't have been a better turnout, in my opinion. We are the Tiki-Talka show, and we're here to talk about our beautiful performance today against Newcastle. Unfortunately for them, it was a rough second half.
Never a doubt, though.
Yeah.
We called
Yeah.
this a week ago, 2 weeks ago. We called it. But yeah,
Well, to be fair, we did all kind of agree that we thought it was going to be a much closer game. We kind of thought the aggregate was going to end like a 1 goal difference. I wasn't expecting 8-2. That's crazy. That was a sight to see.
the aggregate, what was it, 8-3?
It was 8-3. Yeah, it was 8-3.
I don't think.
Yep.
I mean, the first half it was sweaty for sure.
Oh my God, yeah.
Into the game too, having a 1-1 outcome, but yeah, lots to discuss. I'd say some positives. I mean, many positives. 8 positives to start off for sure.
For sure.
Yeah, bro.
Some negatives. So, anybody want to start?
First half, I felt defensively both teams were struggling. Just kind of back and forth. Like all you could hear from the commentators, like, "Oh my God, what a game!" This and that. And as a Barca fan, it's more, yeah, it's great that we're scoring, but it's not great that they're also scoring. So defensively, there were struggles, absolutely. Stuff that we've seen in the past. We were able to go into the half 3-2, which was good for us having that penalty towards the end, which we absolutely needed. But second half, oh my God, I definitely wasn't expecting that. So not sure what exactly happened, but Barca came out completely ready to dominate that game, and Newcastle did not. So even their coach in a post-game interview was like, he was like, I was left scratching my head. I literally have no idea what happened. And so it just super, we need that game. Absolutely, didn't expect us to dominate in that way, but it's a great feeling going into the next round and moving forward with this before the international. Well, I know we have a game this weekend, but before the international break and whatnot. So
Yeah. That first half had me sweating, though. I was sweating, man. I was watching, while I was in school, right? But I walked out of my office and I was walking around because I was nervous. I felt anxious. Bro, I did not have fun. I did not have fun in that first half.
It was a boxing match for real.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Elanga was scaring me, bro.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I think rightfully so in that situation, but one commentator was saying during the game, he was like, this isn't even a game of tactics at this point. It was still, I think, like the 35th minute. It wasn't a game of tactics anymore. It was just straight football,
Yeah, I heard that too. Straight football, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's what it was. We would score, they would score right back, and I would say they were preventable goals, but that's a topic we can discuss a little.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
as a football fan, I mean, obviously you love seeing goals. Everybody loves seeing goals. It's like the best part of football. But as a Barca fan, you hate seeing goals coming our way, bro. Especially since we've gone so far down from being like the defensive unit that we used to be. What, like 2 years ago?
Yeah.
Like seeing a goal happen because of the high line is just like a punch to the gut sometimes. Like obviously it worked out afterwards. Like we got that all settled out in the second half. Whatever. I don't know what happened to Newcastle, but it was a lot better than in the second half.
Newcastle could not hang with the big dogs. That's all it was.
I guess not. Yeah.
But no, I mean, we should talk about the goals now. At least Newcastle's, right? I think we have many goals.
Yeah,
to
for
talk
sure.
about. But the first goal, Alanga, with right place, right time, I guess. But we didn't have our defenders there. It was tough scenes. Is what I saw.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, again, it's just this offside trap that just puts us in such a tough position, man. I was super frustrated with the fact that first Eddie Garcia overcommits um, when they were pushing forward. And then once he overcommitted, that opened so much space for Newcastle to just play in between the two. And when they did the go, that's when our back line literally stepped back to try to pull an offsides trap, which to me in that situation, like that it just didn't make sense. And that put us 3 steps behind literally the whole offense for Newcastle. So we were just chasing at that point, and that's why it was wide open. So it was just really, really, really frustrating to see that. But again, it's something we've seen throughout the season again and over and over and over again. Just this high line, man.
Now, do you think it was a mix of the high line and Eric playing with discomfort? We did see him get substituted in the 21st minute. You know, they had scored both goals at that point already. But I do think it was an overcommitment there. But at the same time, do you think it could have been him trying to compensate for some type of discomfort that he was feeling? Or
I don't know. I just feel like he could have just dropped back. Like he just could have kept dropping instead of going 100%. If anything, I feel like if you're feeling some type of tweak, some type of injury, like don't go 100%, stay where you are, just track back, keep dropping, because they were at midfield when the play started, close to midfield.
Yeah.
And so you give time for your midfield to drop back as well and come support you. So I just didn't feel like it was, I don't think the going 100% was necessary or as if he was trying to make up for anything.
Fair enough. Anybody else on the first goal? Any thoughts on that for Newcastle?
Yeah, I mean, as much as we dislike the high line, I feel like most of the goals that get scored on us, they're so preventable. But like, I don't know. I think that's kind of a good thing because the goals that should be goals, I feel like we're stopping those, and like obviously Joanne is doing a good job with that. Our defense is when sometimes our defense is out of their mind. I mean, we can get back like it's nothing sometimes on the high line. So it's good to see that as well. But I don't know, the high line has its flaws and has its pros. So that's the issue with it.
Yeah, referencing to what Ricardo said an episode or two ago with the high line, it's that it kind of makes us look like a little bit of a headless chicken where you're kind of just filling in the gaps because like the high line got opened up at one side basically. So then the far opposite winger is always open. Like we don't have people tracking back with them. So that's kind of like the drawbacks, and we saw it twice today. But
yeah, it's frustrating at times. Obviously, we're very thankful for it when it does work.
Yes.
And sometimes we're over here like freaking wiping the sweat off our foreheads. I think in Champions League, you're like we're like, come on, where it worked so well last year, and it's just not the same because like we've said before, teams adapt. They understand how to play against it now. I think it's going to be interesting moving forward against. Not that Newcastle was a bad opponent. I just think we had more legs than them. We had more lethal firepower than they did offensively. I just think against a team, for example, like an Arsenal, like an Atletico Madrid, as we've seen, it's gonna bite us like in the butt, to be honest. So
again, not to like you said, not to rag on Newcastle too much. I mean, they were, especially in the first leg, they were a very worthy opponent, but they're 9th in the Premier League. Like they're not even top 5. Like what's gonna happen when we verse an Arsenal or there's no other English teams left, but like when we verse a PSG or a Bayern, bro, like teams that can outplay us in that aspect, like I think it's gonna be hard for us to keep up with them, which is what I'm worried about.
Liverpool.
Oh, Liverpool. I forgot they advanced as well. Yeah, you're right.
I don't think we see Liverpool in the final though.
No. No way.
That's
but even looking closer to Atletico, man, next round, I think that's something that we can't do that. We can't do that again, especially playing at the Metropolitano.
Yeah.
Metropolitano. Damn.
That's a mouthful, bro. That's a mouthful.
For real. The Metropolitano. So, especially playing there, though, honestly. Like, that ball is going to move fast. They're going to water that pitch over and over and over again. the night before, right before the game, as they're walking out, the pitch is still
They're
gonna
gonna
be
they're
getting
gonna flood
water.
they're gonna flood the pitch a week before. They're gonna I don't even know.
saw that against Tottenham in the first leg. With the goalkeeper
Yeah.
who conceded two
Yeah.
goals. It was just the first one or one of the two.
That was the first one he slipped.
Yeah, he slipped completely, and then the ball as well. And it happened to us with Juan in the first leg as well of the Copa del Rey semifinals, where the ball just didn't.
That was the goal that could have gotten us advanced through.
Yeah.
That was the goal that could have got us to overtime. Like it's small things like that. Like when it happens, you don't think about it too much. But like looking at the grand scheme of things, like you're like, wow, like if this didn't happen, if that didn't happen, then like so much could have changed.
We are playing them 3 times in 10 days though, so
Bro.
we'll have a lot of experience and like a lot of opportunities that we can learn from. And I mean, hopefully we learned enough in the Copa del Rey, and we're able to handle them in the way we handled Newcastle, you know.
Yep.
But yeah, let's move on to the second goal. You know, our main boy. You know, I mean, how you make that mistake, bro?
Oh my gosh, man.
You know, in a it's in a 2-2 game or 2-1 game. Sorry, in a 2-1 game, you guys just scored your second. Have the momentum rolling. You're in your own half near the 18, and you decide to backheel it between 3 defenders. Like, come on.
I just don't know what the thought process was, though. Like, where was that going?
I think the nearest player was Pedri, but he was on the right-hand side, and the backheel went towards the left. So it seemed like he was passing it to the sideline. It just really didn't make sense to me at all.
Honestly, it just seemed like a brain fart on his part. Like I don't know. There's like no intention behind that whatsoever. It's honestly like it felt like he was mashing buttons playing FIFA and just ended up doing that by accident.
Yeah.
He saw the 3 big bodies around him from Newcastle and just panicked, you know, just lack of experience there.
Yeah, and then I feel like Araujo, I think he could have done better, a little bit better at least
I don't think he had to make a lunge. He didn't have to make like a lunging step to it. He could have kept up and just stayed in front of him. In my opinion, I don't think he could have. I don't know. I'm not a pro, so I don't know. But that's honestly what it looked like.
Yeah, with Araujo there, I was just glad there wasn't a penalty. You know, I think he was in front of his player pretty well, and unfortunately, I megged him with a good pass. My main issue with that play was Joao Cancelo on the opposite side, where at first he started tracking back once they lost the ball with Lamin's mistake. He started tracking back. He was ahead of Elanga, and then once Araujo was able to slow him down, he completely lost his man, and Elanga was sitting in the 6 waiting for it. You know, I think he was expecting who was it, Barnes, or I think it was Barnes to get a touch on it and get Joan to get it at the near post, but Barnes missed it along with every other defender in the box, and he was just standing there waiting for Elanga to tap it in.
Yeah.
Like that was my issue there. You know, where was Joao Cancelo in that moment where we needed him on the far post and he just stopped playing?
It's another moment of us just not being aware of what's happening around us. It's consistently happening. It's just a trend that I hope sooner than later they figure out, but it's not looking likely.
Yeah, I just feel like you need to expect the unexpected. Like you can't just expect somebody else to get the ball. Like, no, you need to be in your position just in case something happens. And that requires concentration. You can't just relax because someone else is going to do the job for you. Like you need to do the job. And if someone else does it while you're preparing to, put yourself in the right position, great, awesome. But you need to be in the position where you need to be in case that ball does go through,
Mm-hmm. Definitely a rough goal to watch, especially because we just celebrated our second goal and then we go and get stabbed in the heart right away. And then 2, 3, whatever, how many minutes after, I know Ricardo sent a text, oh, Lamin better make up for it now. And a couple minutes later, we see him get a perfect ball waiting for him. Lewandowski muffed it. And then we see
oh my gosh,
with the world in front of him, decide to shoot
never seen that before.
Again, bro, with his right foot. And
dude,
the newly opened section of the Camp Nou. He said, "Thank you very much. Here you go, fans. Take this with you." Because it was the whole net.
That was so bad, man. But honestly, Lewa a couple times had me
in the first half.
I didn't even want to look at him.
Bro,
oh my god, dude, he was looking like he was learning to walk.
It got personal in the first half.
Dude.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's like we've never seen him in this form. Like, yes, in the past we've played Yeah, like we've complained about his technical ability as he's gotten older, and yeah, he's a striker. We don't expect him to look like Lamine dribbling through 7 people.
Uh-huh.
No,
Look,
but
man,
he's our number 9. He has to finish. That's his job. Like he could stand.
Dude,
that's all
I
he's there
just
to do.
He has to be able to just stand still, place the ball. Like no matter what your age is, I feel like that's something you should be able to do. I mean, you see Ronaldo, you see literally any other striker do that. Lewa has 150 plus goals in the Champions League. Like you have to finish those shots, dude.
I think he's at
I thought it was 108.
110.
That was 108?
Yeah, I think he's at 110 today.
Oh, that was 150. My bad.
No,
I
no,
stand
no.
corrected.
No, I think Ronaldo actually has that record. I think he's around 140.
Oh, I got it mixed up. Oops.
Yeah. I think he definitely has that many goals around his career for sure.
Oh, well, yeah,
Yeah,
100%.
for sure.
Past 3 seasons, man.
I mean,
yeah.
But no, yeah, I mean, being the third top goal scorer in the Champions League, regardless of how old you are, you gotta know how to find the net or at least put it on target. You can't have the ball meg you when you're standing at the 6, dude, and just like bobble it.
yeah,
You know,
absolutely.
it looked embarrassing.
Or
Even though that means 18, you gotta put that on frame too.
Oh, no, yeah, 100%.
I don't know why he blasted it, dude. He could just toe poked it for like anything.
My instant reaction, I sent you guys a text in the moment. He would have been better off diving at the ball head first and putting it on teammate. Like
He literally could have trapped the ball. He could have trapped the ball, tie his shoes, and still put it on frame.
yeah, it was insane. Seeing
I don't
that,
know.
seeing that,
There
I
was a
like,
lot of things he could have done.
Yeah, the meme. I was like, no, the memes, bro. I was already thinking about it.
But I mean, I feel like everyone made up for it. It was definitely a tough first half, but the way they played in the second half definitely made up for it. And Lamine specifically, he did make up for that bad pass starting the play for the third goal for that penalty.
Yes.
With that outside of the foot pass, right? So
And also,
all I can ask for him, he was a playmaker.
yeah, and also the one play he had against Xiao, I don't know how to pronounce his last name.
So
Yeah, when he left him in the dust in the first, I think it was the first goal, I believe. It was the
Yeah.
pass to the assist where Rafinha to Fermin and then back to,
I mean, yeah. I don't know how he slipped like that. That was crazy.
because Lamine cooked him, bro.
Yeah, but that was a crazy slip.
No, but then Hall, he did have the slip towards the 18 as well. But
Yeah.
Lamine to be able to get the ball there and then produce something out of it, it gave us flashes of what we've been wanting to see with him at the 10, you know? And this, like you were saying, Ricardo, leading up to the third goal, which ultimately was the penalty, Lamine at the 10 created that too, you know? So,
We've been saying this. We've been saying this for months. By the way, to put Lamine at the 10.
just try it out.
We've been saying it for months, literally just to try it out.
I think it depends on the
Yeah.
game.
Depends on the game, but I don't know. It's worth to try out. Like in some games, I mean, and
You
obviously,
never know.
Yeah, with this game specifically, I did see heavy attention from Newcastle's midfield to Mark Pedri and take him out of the game as much as possible. So I think that did open up space in the middle for Rafinha or Lamine to kind of slot in there and then be the creator that Pedri could have been if he wasn't like man-marked the whole game.
I mean, honestly, something that I feel like I saw throughout the game that made us successful is that we were playing very like fluid and people were moving into each other's positions constantly, just moving and moving and moving and moving. I mean, off the ball movement is like 90% of the game, right? And I feel like we were really, really effective with that. Especially in like the second half. I mean, you look at the goal that Fermin scored. That comes straight from off the ball movement, right? Rafinha tucks into almost like a striker position. Lewa checks in. Fermin is literally running around. He literally ran a route.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like no joke. No joke, he ran a route. But they pull out Lewa pulls out Daniel Bernia. So Lewa pulls him out, opens up space. Fermin runs into that space. Rafinha checks, gets the ball, plays him into space. It's just constant movement and not being tied to one position. Because Rafinha, what is he doing as striker? That's how he was playing, right? And so that constant movement throughout the game, we saw Lamine play at the 10 a couple times because of that constant movement. So I feel like that's what really made the game for us. Everyone was just playing fluid football, moving around, being free with, whatever they wanted to do and covering for each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that build-up was honestly one of the nicer plays I've seen. I mean, a couple of the goals were beautiful, don't get me wrong, but seeing that, it was like, wow, like,
It looked like they drew it up.
exactly. And like
Be
I was
honest.
saying, it looked like a route, but Charlie, I want to go back to you with this one. Martin, man, he started that. He found Rafinha in the open space,
Listen,
and there's a couple of times where I saw him pinging Lamine across the field, so he had a very solid game, I think.
yeah, gotta give him
Completed 3 out of 4 long balls,
Come on, Charlie.
92% passing.
Are you changing your mind on him yet, or are you still,
not until after we win the Champions League.
Damn.
Bro, Martin has been a solid
No,
starter for us.
but you know what it is? He's been solid. He provides he is very composed, I feel. Like he's really grown into his position and he's gained confidence. And I feel like that's why right now he's getting the playing time that he's getting, because when he gets the ball, you see composure from him for the most part. Well, like 9 times out of 10. Sometimes we do see like a little goofy move here and there, but
Goofy.
9 times out of 10, yeah, 9 times out of 10 though, he's like looking for that like key long ball or playing it into, a guy's feet that, he can turn and explode into space. Like he's making smart decisions and he's not panicking. So
One thing about him, he's not scared to make a challenge, dude. He knows he's a big guy, so he goes into those challenges, and I think he wins them. I don't know the stat on today's game, but I mean, honestly, I didn't really see too many defensive lapses on his end.
I do think he's growing, into a player that's becoming comfortable, and he's doing what we need him to do. Is he the perfect center back replacement? No, but I think the trust that Hansi and the team is giving him is great, because it's what we need. We need someone in that spot, and he's doing it well. So I just think I'm very critical of him, just because, like, defensively, I guess because that's our weak point.
yeah,
It's always a focus. And, seeing the latest reports with how much Inter is willing to, the asking price for Bastoni or Martin.
I don't know. Did you see his assist today, though? I thought that IQ was tough.
No, listen.
You saw his ball. You saw his ball to Rafinha, bro. Like,
No, listen, Martin today, great game. I wish if he played, and not that every player is on their A game every single game, but if he played laid back consistently enough, he could be a starter on a lot of teams, to be honest with you.
On the fly, I just thought of a comparison for you guys, or at least an either or. If one center back had to go, would it be Araujo or Martin for you guys? Given the performance this season, I think it's a very tough position to put them both in. One's younger.
I think that's a bit unfair on Araujo's part, honestly, because he missed a month of playing.
I get that, but at the same time, we're still seeing him play. He played a full 80 minutes today. So
70, yeah.
He played 70 minutes out of position at that. Playing right back. We haven't really seen him at center back since he took his break.
I'd say at this moment, I would pick Martin or Araujo.
Martin.
You would pick to sell Araujo and keep Martin. Okay, yeah, I'd probably. I might be a little biased. I love Martin. I've liked him for a while, so yeah, I agree.
If we were to get Bastoni, I think Martin is better off the bench than Araujo right now. I just think, kind of what Ricardo was saying in terms of composure in big matches. I think Martin is consistently solid. He does have his goofy moments, but anytime I say Araujo defending, I get nervous, man. But with Martin, I think he'll be okay. I just think he might fit the system a little better.
Yes, that's what I think it is.
We see Hansi loving him, so if Hansi has the trust in a player, then I think we should at least come around to it and try to see what Hansi sees in some way. But I think one of them has to leave in the summer, especially if we did renew Christensen.
Oh yeah, I forgot we were gonna do that. Forgot we had Christensen, honestly.
Yeah.
I think we could get a little bit of a return on Araujo selling too.
He still has value.
Yeah, I think if he picks up a little form throughout the rest of the season, then his price will go up a little bit. Because I mean, honestly, he's still a solid player. I mean, he's just going through a little something right now. But I mean, he's still a solid player.
Yeah, he's getting back to it. Especially if we win Champions League, I think Araujo's price tag skyrockets.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Anybody on our squad, really, they're Champions League winner. They bring experience that not many others have to any squad. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do wanna add. When was the last time we've seen Lamine, Lewa, and Rafi all score in the same game? It's been a minute.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
It's been a minute. It's really good to see, bro.
Yeah, our big three. we need
Yeah.
because when Ferran came on, I didn't see anything from him.
I forgot he even came on.
He had one run, I think.
But I think it was impressive to have Rafinha, Lewa, Yamal, and Fermin score. Like that's literally like
The front four. The front four, yeah.
Exactly.
like that's
yeah,
and they all like contributed to other goals as well.
exactly.
Yeah, Rafi with 2 assists and 2 goals, Fermin with a goal and assist, Lamine with a goal and assist, Lewa 2 goals. Like that's some crazy attacking stats. And then Bernal with the other goal, of course. Like I think that's
Bernal, man.
that's great to see.
We're about a week or so away from, or 2 weeks, I don't know, from De Jong coming back.
Oof.
I know what you're gonna ask. That's a tough question, man.
Of the squad, number one.
Yeah.
And second, we need rotation this point in the season. So
Absolutely. I agree with that.
I do see. I mean, obviously, I think they're going to ease him back into the lineup where he's going to come on like 70th minute, But we also have to think we have Gavi as well.
Oh yeah, you're right. Damn.
I'm not saying Gavi. If we're putting between three, Bernal, De Jong, and Gavi, I think Gavi's honestly at the bottom right now of the three. But
Unfortunate.
at least that gives us the options to rotate our 3 center mids. One game, one will start, and then it's I think it's going to be a dogfight at that point. Whoever is really showing out.
Yeah, I do think they rest Pedri a little bit more too, depending on
Yes.
the importance of the game and kind of where we sit with certain things. But it's I'm just happy that Bernat is gaining form.
Absolutely.
Even if he comes off the bench, man, you have De Jong playing 70-ish minutes, and then you see that he's getting subbed out. You're like, oh, thank God. But then you look over to the side, you see Bernal coming in. You're like, what the hell?
Yeah, bro. He's been tremendous.
Yes.
Yeah, bro.
Yes. This season,
I don't think I've seen a comeback.
Day one, bro. I knew.
Yeah, I don't think we've seen a comeback from an ACL tear like this from a player in a long time. Like I can't.
Yeah.
Yeah. Knock on wood, but like I can't think of another comeback like this, especially from somebody so young.
Yes.
So it's so great to see. It's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
For sure.
he plays with a lot of heart, man. He plays with a lot of determination. He's getting goals. He had 6 recoveries today in the midfield. Like he does it all.
Yeah.
He does it all. He had a tremendous game today.
It's so confident.
There's also huge off-ball movement from him on the first goal. When Eric made that commitment to step, he was running back to right back. He didn't make it in time. They got the cross off. But then there's also plays where if Rafinha pulls into the 10, you see Bernal making that slashing run across to play left wing, and that's how he scored on the weekend against Sevilla. I'm pretty sure he got the assist. I can't remember right now, but plays like that, he's just flying across the field off the ball and making plays where people might not see the runs, and he might not be getting the ball 90% of the time, but he's dragging defenders, stretching out the back line, and opening the gaps for our other guys to really play. And honestly, I think it's going to be a very tough choice for Hansi, and he's going to be spoiled with options, I think, in the center mid position.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Did you guys see that he's extending his contract?
He better. I was about to pull up and punch him if no.
Yeah.
No, yeah. Our Masia boys, they're very loyal, which I love to see. Except
Love them all, man.
once they saw Dro leave, I was kind of worried that some would follow in his path. And luckily, I think the guys we trust heavily so far, they're putting their trust in the club as well.
Yeah.
Honestly, it didn't move me much when Dro left. Like I was a little upset. Okay, the reason why I was upset was because it was PSG. That's why I was a little upset.
I was mad.
But I thought about it a little bit. I was like, you know what? If somebody were to leave, like, I think I'd rather him than any of the other youngsters that we have.
But I got the same emotions as when Dembele did that.
No,
That's why I got
bro.
so upset.
Yo, don't even get me started on Dembele leaving, bro. Oh my God.
Hansi said about Dro leaving, how he said it was one of the biggest disappointments in his career.
Yeah, I did see that. I did see that.
Just seeing that coming from the coach, like, how much he has to like how much he has to give up like in his pride to say like, damn, I messed up as a coach and I let this player go. I was like, nah,
Yep.
that hurts.
I don't think he
Yeah.
messed up as a coach though. That's the thing. I don't think he did.
I mean, it's unfortunate for us because his gross value went up like a lot.
Only
And
got
my
$6 million.
boy from one night to the next, yeah, because of the clause in his contract. But
Yep.
from one night to the next, he was like, peace.
Yep.
Peace.
I don't know,
Yeah.
but in my head, like if somebody is so willing to leave our club like that, like whether you're getting playing time or not, like if you really have passion for a club, like you're gonna fight for your way to that spot. And like I don't want somebody like that on my team who's just gonna leave at the first sign of like, oh, I'm not gonna get playing time. Yeah.
I just think it was unexpected. Like it came out of nowhere.
Yeah, it was unexpected,
no
especially
reports. There's no reports, no hint of
Nothing.
anything, dude. And this guy was getting playing time.
yeah,
Yeah.
especially right after that video came out of them singing happy birthday to him on the plane.
It was that week.
The next,
Yeah, it was the
Yeah,
same.
that
It was
like
the
freaking
same
2
week.
days after, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah.
insane.
That was sad. That hurt me.
I just
hurt me
felt
too,
a certain
but-
type of way because it did bring back flashbacks of Dembele. You know, it's not. I'm not saying it was the same.
even
Um,
Neymar, man.
Yeah, but it was just like, damn, like
Ugh.
why us? Why us and PSG? You know, like it just made it more sound.
Yeah.
Had it
Yeah.
been another big club, okay, happens, whatever. But to PSG,
But PSG.
Honestly, I wish it was a Premier League club, bro. Any other club at PSG, dude. Like, oh my god.
yeah, but
Unfortunately.
whatever. We're not dwelling on
Yeah.
Dro. We have too many options,
Yeah.
right, anyways.
Yeah.
But we are out with our goalie for the next 2 to 3 weeks. Joan Garcia with a calf tear. So how we feeling
What's
about? My Polish isn't the best, but Szczęsny, I think is how you.
Oh, okay.
But as many people know him,
Damn.
Szczęsny. How we feeling about him starting for the next couple matches?
I think Vallecano is a good game for him to get back into the swing of things. I think it's an ideal game for us to have with a goalie substitution. So I think, I mean, he proved himself. I mean, when have you ever heard about a goalie going into retirement, coming out of retirement for a club, and then pulling off starting right away and pulling off a great season?
Yep.
Like,
Yeah.
I think Szczęsny, he's kind of just got that dog in him. You know, I think he's just gonna show up, do his job, get to work, hopefully. So, I mean, let's
at halftime.
yeah, like let's do a throwback to last season. I mean, we had like how many games undefeated with him in net in a row? Like it was clean sheets, right? Am I mistaken?
We had a good run.
There was,
Yeah, we had a pretty decent run with him. So I obviously don't think he'll be as good as Juan. I mean, Juan is, I think in my opinion, he's the best shot stopper in the world right now. But I'm confident in Szczęsny. So
Yeah, I agree. I do think it's been quite a while since he's played, which gets me a
Mhm.
little nervous,
I think he
especially
played in
because I
September.
feel like,
In September. is when he
yeah, like for someone of his age, I think that's what gets me a little nervous, having to get in for him, especially, we're hoping that Juan is back before the first leg against Atletico Madrid.
Yeah.
But if he's not that not confident in Szczęsny, but you would rather be having Joan Garcia in net for you in a game like that.
yeah, of course.
Yeah. I'm happy it's a guy with experience, though, to be honest, because we are entering that part of the season where that's what we need as well. If anyone, it should be a guy with experience, because our only other option right now is coaching, right?
Yeah.
I'm sure that's how you pronounce it. Our young American, which don't get me wrong, I'd love to see an American play for Barcelona, but at this point in the season, Szczęsny's a great option to have.
Yeah, I did just look up. His last game was actually November 9th against Celta, and we won 4-2. So I think it's just an opportunity for our defense to, continue what they got going, focus on just the mistakes they made the past couple weeks and really lock in for the next couple games. They got to step up for Juan, and I think Szczęsny with his experience, I think he'll do what he has to do and save what he can. I mean, he's 41 years old. I mean, for a goalie, I think it's still doable, but it's getting to that point for him. And so
Yeah.
he's going to do what he has to do. He's got experience on his side. And if our defense can save him a couple of times, I think we'll be fine.
hopefully.
Yeah, just happy with the result for today. You know, although we did have some injuries, hoping that we get the players back sooner than later.
For sure.
Yeah. And are we in consensus with man of the match?
Rafi?
Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt. Rafi for me.
He's getting back in form, man.
How do we feel about Lewa, though?
Coming back.
Unconvincing?
Yeah. First
I
half,
appreciate
it's like a scale, honestly. Like the goals he scored were good, but that first half is like, you know, it's hard, but it's nice to see him score some goals. I will say that.
Yes.
Well, he needed to see the back of the net. To be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He had to.
Yeah.
I thought his celebrations were tough with the crown, with the mask as the crown, and then
Yeah.
I thought they were cool.
I appreciate the second half effort, but definitely that first half was not convincing.
Yeah.
Not convincing.
I really do think Rayo's going to be a good ramp-up game for us for some players on the bench.
Yeah.
I think Hansi's going to see some rotations in the middle.
Hey, but that's a tough game though.
It is.
That's a tough game.
Yeah.
That is a very tough game. It's always like one goal between us.
Yes.
Yeah.
But we do see the power of the Camp Nou. That's one thing. We are playing at home, so hopefully the crowd shows up again, which I'm sure they will. And even with the whatever squad we go out with, I think like I said, we just got to keep the form going, and our defense needs to tighten up, and we'll be good. We'll come out with the win. Keep the 4 points now against Madrid?
Yeah.
I think we're 4 points clear.
Right now,
Yeah, it's 4 points.
and Madrid plays Atletico this weekend, so hopefully
Derby.
we
Yeah,
can get an Atletico win,
Or at least a tie, bro.
or at least a tie.
Yeah,
Hopefully a win, to be honest, because
Atletico's not. They're not catching up. They're not catching up.
Yeah, so
Not gonna win it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they can at least do us this favor.
And then they can do us this favor, and then we can destroy them over 2 legs. I hope so.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Any other remarks regarding our game today or upcoming matches?
I'm excited, man. I'm excited.
I'm excited. Yeah,
Yeah.
just looking forward to that next round, and we got to get our gut back.
For real.
It's the biggest thing. We got to get our gut back.
I think Atleti knows what, like, ever since that game, obviously our attitude has changed. So I think Atleti knows they woke up the beast in our team.
Yeah, it's on site now, bro. I'm serious. It's on site. We're about to squash the spider, bro.
Oh gosh.
Kratos poured out.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. So I think we have a tough schedule coming up in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Hopefully none of our players get injured. That's something we don't have luck with, especially during international break, but we'll see. We'll see.
All right, fellas, ladies and gents, thank you so much for watching this episode of the Tiki-Talka show. Make sure to stay tuned. This has been a fun experience so far. We're having a lot of fun with this, like I said. So make sure to check out our shorts. We have an Instagram, we have a TikTok. We have shorts here on YouTube as well. So yeah, like and subscribe. Follow us on our socials, like I said.
Share us,
Yep.
and if you love this man right here,
Hey.
Messi.
make sure you share the love of our channel, our page, everything. Yeah. No, he doesn't bobble, but he's standing firm on business.
Oh yeah.
That's right.
Y que fue? All right, guys. Peace.
Subscribe. Peace.
Miska Barca.